Hello learners. So today in this video we are going to study about the period which is called the Anglo-Saxon period. It is also called the Old English period. The date of this is from the 55th century BC to 1066 century AD. In this chapter, we are going to cover all the important works, all the important writers, and the important characteristics of this period with every invasion that happened during this period. Before starting this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and press the bell notification so that you get updated about any video that I post at any moment. Also comment down below if you like this video and give a thumbs up. Having said that, let's get started. So the history of English literature is from the very beginning of the century. This is before the 55th century BC. Yes, in that period only and only the Celtic people resided in the regions of Britain. Today the Britain is known as England. Earlier it was known as Britain or Anglesland or England. In that period, everyone was living peacefully in that region. After some century, the Roman invaded in Britain. This is in the 55th century. The Romans spoke Latin language and mixed some minor languages. In that time, when Romans invaded Britain, Claudius Caesar was the king. He was the one who attacked the Celts and Romans won. After that, the Romans ruled for around 3 centuries. This is over a period of 300 years. They were here to only and only take the majority of the valuable things from Britain to their own land. This is Rome. They were the people who were living in Rome before invading this area called England or Britain. With the Roman invasion, Latin and Greek became the major language of that region. After that, in the 450th century AD, this is the 5th century, the Germanic tribe migrated to Britain. These German settlers were comprised of Saxons, Jutes and Angles. They were togetherly known as Anglo-Saxons or the Germanic tribes. The Germanic tribes settled in Britain after invading the Romans, and the Romans withdrew from Britain and moved to their own land. Majority of the Roman population were made to move to their own land because the Rome was invaded by the other invaders. So in purpose of saving their own land from the other invaders, the Roman people moved to their own land, but all in vain. There in Rome, the Gothic people captured the Roman Empire by invading the Romans. Here in Britain, the Germanic peoples were ruling, and at the time of the invasion of the Germanic people, the Celtic and the Roman society was very much influenced, and it was also devastated to a large extent. After some years, in 597 AD, St. Augustine came to England. Saint Augustine came to England to spread Christianity along with his other priests. These Germanic tribes ruled over Britain for many centuries. After that, in 8th century, the Vikings invaded Britain. The Vikings, along with the Scandinavians and the Norsemen, invaded Britain and won it. Vikings, Norsemen and the Scandinavians altogether are known as Anglo-Norman. After their invasion, the period is known as the Anglo-Norman period, which we will study in our upcoming video. Now let me tell you about the important writers and the important works of this Anglo-Saxon period. At that time, many heroic and religious poems were written. In a majority of number, the Germanic tribes wrote heroic poems and the Britons write religious poems. Beowulf is an important poem with an anonymous writer and without a title. Later on, this book was named Beowulf on the name of the character. This character was named Beowulf and he was the main character of this book. There are four important manuscripts of that period named as Versailles Book, the Junius manuscript, the Beowulf manuscript, and the Exeter Book. The Exeter Book is basically a book of riddles. Then there are many major poems and writings. They were titled as The Wife's Lament, Caedmon's Hymn, Bates' Death Song, and The Dream of the Road. There was one more writing titled as The Battle of Maldon. Now let's come to the poets and the writers of that period. So the most important poet were Caedmon and Cynewulf. They were only the poet of that period. Then there was a historian called Saint Bede. He was very important. Alfred the Great was the greatest prose writer of that period. He was the king of Wessex. Also, there was a man called Alfric, and he is today known for his grammar. So all the writers and the poets and the important works that I told you are very important to remember. Also keep in mind that you must remember the four manuscripts. This is the Versailles, the Junius manuscript, Beowulf, and Exeter book. UGC NET has asked questions repeatedly on these manuscripts, so it is very important to learn them. With this, I end my video. Thank you so much for watching my video. Stay tuned for the upcoming video.